much as 3 innocent bin men are attacked with an axe while on their rounds. The Stoke-on-Trent City Council bin lorry had been on its route to collect rubbish as usual. A Vauxhall Corsa turned into the road at speed and caused the lorry to abruptly stop. Driver Joe Corden went up to the lorry and punched the driver 3 times. Corden returned to his car, took a lollipop stick and started hitting the lorry. The victim was taken to hospital with multiple injuries. The same Corsa blocked off a different council bin lorry. Corden was carrying an axe, a second man, Jack Spackman, was carrying a sledgehammer, and the third, Carl Worthington, was armed. Corden smashed the driver's window and struck the workers. The men drove off after the spiteful attack. One bin worker was taken to hospital with facial, head and leg injuries. The second had sustained head injuries, and the third had head and leg injuries. Joe Corden was sentenced to 6 years in jail. He pleaded guilty to conspiring to cause grievous bodily harm with intent. Carl Worthington was handed 6 years in jail. Jack Spackman will go to jail for 5 years and 6 months. The judge compared their crimes to a TV drama. None of the men work for the council anymore after the trauma they sustained. One told Stoke-on-Trent Live he may never work again due to his injuries. This shocking crime comes as the importance of the job done by bin collectors comes into sharp focus, as Birmingham suffers a punishing bin strike.
Collection of rubbish on the streets is a different matter. The council themselves and cabinet member for environment on the council, Councillor Majid Mahmood, admits that it could be 3 or 4 weeks still before that kinds of levels of rubbish left on street corners that we've seen is collected. But a better sign this morning that bin lorries have been out and about. We also know that Birmingham City Council are paying a commercial rate for Lichfield District Council bin lorries to come and also help them out with collecting those wheelie bins and rubbish from around the city. So there is a better sign there for residents, and as we've seen, that I've been at the past couple of days, mobile waste collection centres where people can try and bring their rubbish. You're right to mention the 21,000 tonnes of litter and rubbish that's been left uncollected because of these all-out strikes now in its 5th week. Negotiations continuing between Birmingham City Council and Unite. A couple of days ago said that those talks were intensive. Birmingham City Council called them productive, but seemingly yesterday no agreement reached as so far, and so these strikes continue and those concerns around public health continue as well. But as all of these people around this city deal with the bins, the MP for Hodge Hill and Solihull North, who's also chair of the Business and Trade Committee, Liam Byrne, he's been in Japan for a fact-finding mission with 7 other MPs at the end of last month. But rather than returning with the rest of those MPs, he's stayed out there for a personal trip. Now, a spokesperson for Liam Byrne says that that part of the private trip is personally funded, but he is in Japan, and there's been a lot of anger, as you can imagine, from residents that they are dealing with a bin crisis and their local MP has not returned to the area in order to try and push the likes of Birmingham City Council and Unite to come to some kind of agreement to help out his constituents. Funny enough, I was in Hodge Hill yesterday. I got reaction from those residents about how they feel about these bin strikes, and here's what they told me.
I'm absolutely furious. This has been going on for many, many weeks now, a couple of months. I shouldn't have to be, after paying council tax, making my way to empty bins, and there's a service that's provided to do that.
Well, I think it's disgusting. It's been going on, for a month or so now. It happened, 7 or 8 years ago, and the council hasn't learned, and the electorate hasn't learned. It's clearly people electing the same old people who are incompetent, and they don't really care about the local community or the city.
It's all a game plan. This is just training the public to do it. They're doing it on purpose. Slowly, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, this week. This is just training for the future.
What do you make of the state of Birmingham at the moment, the bins on the streets?
It's diabolical. Third world countries are better.
You can hear there a lot of anger from residents just at the state of the streets that they're finding in. Residents in Hodge Hill there, part of Liam Byrne's constituency. And as those concerns continue, those concerns around public health increase as well, as Unite and the council once again head into negotiations.
Labour have come under sharp criticism as a local MP left his constituents to jet off on a trip.
Keith, how do you feel about the local MP for that particular area swanning off to Japan while everyone's living in filth back home?
Well, good evening, Patrick. I mean, it's not really funny, is it? This is just the sort of behaviour that we've sadly become accustomed to from our elected representatives here in Birmingham. And it's part of the reason why this great city, which should be so beautiful and well run, is in the mess that it's in. We're used to MPs going off on holidays. We're used to MPs supporting causes that have absolutely nothing to do with the area that's elected them. We're used to city councillors that refuse to even debate the issues that matter, such as the bin strike that they refused a full debate on in the council just a couple of days ago. And in the meantime, we've got tens of thousands of tons of rubbish piling up on the street, rats all over the place, a major incident declared, and one of our MPs, as you see, off on a taxpayer funded jolly.
Well, and then it appears a private holiday.
The flights are paid. Yeah.
I will say before what I've said again. Can you imagine if a right-wing politician did the same? Oh, in fact, we don't have to, because there were things like when there was a flood in York, I believe, and I think one of the local MPs disappeared over there and got absolutely railroaded for it. But of course, it's Liam Byrne. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, finally came to Birmingham this week to try to break the stalemate as the strike dragged on.
And Jack, is there hope on the horizon?
Well, we'll see, because Angela Rayner, of course, meeting in Birmingham yesterday with council leaders, saying the Unite should accept this deal, urging them to do that to end this strike action. She says that the council have made significant changes to the deal to accommodate what they say the workers require. But we're on the picket line in Perry Bar this morning at this depot. You can see here all of the workers out here on the picket line. The Unite flags, undervalued, under attack. That's what the sign that Unite have had up all during this industrial dispute says. And these barriers as well also here that have been brought in by the police, the council say, to ensure that these lorries get out in the morning. But let's speak to Luke Dalton. He's a union rep and driver. Luke, Angela Rayner urging Unite to accept this deal. What's your response?
Well, I'm a bit frustrated by that comment, to be honest. Now, Angela Rayner only intervened after our General Secretary wrote a letter. Now, we've been out here 12 weeks now, and she's urging us to accept a deal that isn't a complete deal anyway. Now, she was in Birmingham yesterday and she failed to address anybody. She didn't come to any pickets to speak to anybody in regards to this. Now, this has become a two-pronged attack in regards to, it's not just about the loaders, there are other things going on in the background. So what I would urge Angela Rayner to do is get the decision makers into our meetings so that we can actually hash out a deal. We don't want to be out here any longer than we have to be. However, we're still being given puppets, and we're not getting the decision makers in these interviews. And without the decision makers being there, how can we make an informed decision in light of the fact that they're making offers, perceived offers, but it's for half a deal? How can we accept half a deal?
Now, there'll be a lot of public that will hope these strikes will end because of the rubbish that we're seeing on the streets, because of centres around a public health emergency with rats and vermin. What's your response to those people who would like to see this to an end because of what we're seeing around Birmingham?
I definitely sympathise with the public. It's not what we want to see. Majority of us live in Birmingham. We've had the same experiences that they have. I can only apologise for the disruption that it's caused. Unfortunately, with the financial element to this, it's our job. We like to keep the city clean, but the financial element and the losses that they're going to accrue here, it's just not sustainable. So the only way that we can react is the way that we did, which was create disruption. And unfortunately, it's took 12 weeks for any political intervention, and then all of a sudden they want it done in 5 days. Now, we're prepared to stand out here as long as we need to, in order to get the right terms and conditions to protect everybody's futures.
Right, Luke, that's all we've got time for this morning, so thank you for joining us. That's the view from the picket line here. As you can see, Angela Rayner may urge these workers to accept this deal, but that is not the sense on this picket line. They, as you heard there, are prepared to keep going as long as it takes.
Thanks very much.